Hello everybody and welcome back to the chassis variant series of myself, Critical Rocket, as we are looking at the Grasshopper, another 70-ton heavy. It was introduced in the late 2700s, just after the Amaris Civil War, so it didn't get a chance to kick any of his asses all over the inner sphere. So, Grasshopper. Now, if you want to see the original Grasshopper gameplay video I did, which would be of the 5J variant, that's in my inner sphere playlist of battle mechs. Chassis series will be covering this mech, the 5H, the original, and the 5N, which I believe is a derivative model. So, the 5H being the original model, historically, it was introduced, as I said, just after the Amaris Civil War, finding its way into numerous Star League units prior to the Exodus. When the Star League left, the mech was basically introduced to the Inner Sphere armies through numerous defector units and the corporation itself, Lantern, continuing to produce the mech for different house armies. It was pretty much seen across all of them. Its popularity grew extremely quickly, as it was actually developed originally as a light and medium hunter. It was apparently originally meant to have stealth armour, actually a piece of equipment that we'll be getting soon in MechWarrior Online. However, designing it and getting it out to the front in time was costly, and there was a rush to get the new mech out, so the stealth armour was dropped. The idea was it was supposed to be able to stealthily move up on units of light and mediums who'd been harassing, and because it has no need for ammunition and thus no need to be close to a supply line, it could jump into a group and just basically tear them apart before they even knew it was there. As such, the Grasshopper has pretty much an all-energy loadout, barring a single missile launcher, to give it some kind of extra long-range punch alongside its large laser. One of the other benefits of the mech is that, as a raider and guerrilla fighter type unit, its main weapon is in its CT, which means it can keep fighting even after losing its arms and even its side torsos, which was a very, very desirable trait of the mech for many mercenary units and commanders on the field. So basically the Grasshopper was a great all-round guerrilla fighter, light hunter, medium hunter. One of the favourite tactics of the pilots of the mech was to basically jump it into the middle of a tightly clustered lance of mechs and just start opening up at short range, because there wasn't really much that other mechs could do with minimum range and such, especially if it was a support lance and whatever else. So yeah, it was extremely popular for those reasons. It also had plenty of heat sinks at the time, 22, which on tabletop was a fantastic amount of heat to be able to vent. And it was also, as I said, completely free of any supply needs outside of its LRM-5, which it wasn't going to be doing a lot of damage with anyway. So in MechWarrior Online, the 5H is a variant that comes with a whopping 7 energy slots, not the highest number that we've seen in MechWarrior Online, but for a 70-tonner it's a hell of a lot, and it makes the Grasshopper quite popular in modes like faction warfare and pub play in general, mainly because it can stack a crap load of weapons. Obviously if you're using like ER larges, or you just want to free up a lot of weight with an XL engine to put bigger weapons on, you've got plenty of options. The energy hardpoints are spread across the CT, left and right sides also, sorry, the arms, and the head houses the single missile launcher that is available for the mech. Though I'm not sure how many people actually use the LRM launcher in their Grasshoppers. I keep it around just because that's me. It's not really a recommended factor when you're building your own Grasshopper. It's also great because it comes with jumpjets, which is pretty good for a 70-tonner when you look at the range. I don't think there are many 70-tonners on the inner sphere side that can actually jump. Thinking about going through this series so far, I think there's a variant of the Cataphract that comes with jump jets, and yeah, I don't think there's no jumping Warhammers, no jumping Archers, so yeah, this is probably the only one that consistently comes with jump jets, which also made it another desirable aspect of the mech anyway within the lore. It was also one of those rare mechs that never really went out of production in the Inner Sphere during the Succession Wars, because it was just so popular. Large numbers were built, and commanders didn't really know enough about them to prioritise them, just looking at it as another general heavy mech, and as such it was largely ignored on the field for specific reasons, that there were other mechs that were considered to be more dangerous, things like the Exterminator and stuff like that. Man, I wish that mech was in the game. Outside of that, in MechWarrior Online terms, it was a mech that I remember it didn't really get a lot of love at first. I guess maybe the resize changed that, but when I remember it being added to MechWarrior Online, it was not the most popular battle mech. In fact, it was looked down upon. Many people thought it was too tall. It was too big a target. A lot of people were tired of seeing humanoid mechs, which, let's face it, they're all going to be a bit tired of that in the end, because quite a few of the mechs in BattleTech are humanoid designs anyway. And I think there was a general malaise at the time of seeing all energy heavies, and people wanted something a bit different. So I think unfortunately the Grasshopper was originally a victim of the time of new mechs being introduced, when there was a current sort of downtrend of that kind of play style. And now it's had an upswing, and you see Grasshoppers a lot more regularly, and there's a good reason for that. They're quirked quite well. They play very, very, very simply, straightforward, no mess, lots of energy, generally decent speed, jump jets, decent armour. You can't really go wrong with the mech. It's a solid design, and well worth having a go of if you haven't tried out the Grasshopper yourself. As I said, the resize has changed any height problems people may have had with it. It's still quite tall, but it's not really a mech that you want to go face to face with, because it generally won't end very well for you in that regards, because the Grasshoppers can pump out a lot of damage very quickly. Yeah, that's about it. There's not much else that I can really provide information-wise on the Grasshopper. I would just say that it's worth the look at. It's definitely a fun little mech to play. As I said, straightforward, simple, and I hope you have a good week after watching this, and keep an eye out for the other Grasshopper video. And if you've watched the other Grasshopper video, then thanks, and if you haven't, then check that out. It's about the chassis variant series. Oh god, my throat. Anyway, see you guys. Thanks for watching. Crystal Rocket signing out.
New target acquired. Center torso critically damaged. Target destroyed.